It is 11 o'clock. Welcome back in. This is Three Man Front on this Reaction Monday. We had scheduled to go down to Gainesville, Florida and talk to Keith Niebuhr, who used to cover the Auburn Tigers for Auburn Undercover. He now covers the Florida Gators for Gators Online. And Scott Strickland is having a press conference in a matter of seconds, meeting with the media after the firing of Billy Napier. So we might even take a listen to what Scott Strickland has to say about that job opening. It appears that all is going to be okay with Mike Norvell at least till the end of the season, as his athletics director gave full support of him in a statement earlier this morning. Luke Fickell got the same type of message from his athletics director at Wisconsin. So it'll be very interesting, Landrum, to see what Scott Strickland has to say about him pulling the trigger on Billy Napier after 45 games there in Gainesville.
I wonder how excited Florida fans are if Scott Strickland is the one that's going to be making this next hire. It worked out for basketball.
I think that's why Scott Strickland still has a job, to be honest with you.
That probably helped his case.
Yeah.
For keeping that and getting that pseudo whatever retirement they announced. What was it, 2030, 2031?
Yeah, I think it was 2030.
He's going to be stepping into an advisory role. Well, Billy Napier's going to have plenty of time to work out, but you don't need plenty of time to work out with our friends at Mandu in downtown. Homewood Electrical Muscle Stimulation Fitness. It's a 15-minute workout because of the technology that's all FDA approved, and that 15 minutes is the equivalent to 6 hours in a gym right now. Get into Mandu. Tell Paul and his staff that Landrum from Jock sent you, and that is going to get you 10% off the life of your membership there at Mandu. Students, 15% off. Mandu in downtown Homewood, MANDUU.com. Tell them that Landrum sent you. Receive the discount. Get in shape and feel great.
Let's go to Gainesville, Florida. We'll give you a little sample of what Scott Strickland is telling the media after he fired Billy Napier just 24 hours ago.
What are we doing, guys? Everybody good? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Wanted to just kind of touch base after the news yesterday, the decision to make a change in the head coaching position here at Florida, and felt like that was best interest for football program going forward. Not an easy decision. Anytime you make those kind of decisions that impact people personally, especially people that you care about, those are just tough, challenging decisions. Had a meeting with Coach Napier, and as you would expect, he handled it as graciously as anybody could. None of us will find a finer individual. His integrity, his character, the way he's led this place, the investment that he's made into this football program will always be appreciated, and I think we will benefit from it for a long, long time. I'm incredibly appreciative of Billy, and I think we're all sad and disappointed it didn't work out from a result standpoint the way we wanted, but just feel so strongly about who he is as a person, and he's leaving this place in a much better position than when he found it. From the quality of the roster, a lot of the support structure that our team benefits now, whether it's the life skills program like GatorMade or other things. He's the kind of people he's brought in this program has been top notch, and so I just want to acknowledge that and how much respect and appreciation. We wish him and Allie and their kids nothing but the best, and he's got a lot of good days ahead of him. I'm convinced of that. After that meeting, I met with Billy Gonzalez and asked if he would step in as the interim head coach, and obviously he agreed to do so. I've known Billy a long time. Obviously, he's been around the University of Florida now in his three different decades. Been a part of three different staffs. Has been a part of this place when we were winning championships, and so he understands that pedigree. And this place, I think, is important to him, and I think he will do a great job of leading this group and the staff through the remainder of this season, and believe this gives us the best chance to have the kind of success we want to finish this season on a strong note. Also met with the staff. We got a lot of high character people in positions of coaching or support staff, and they're going to continue to work hard for the University of Florida, work hard for these players, and put them in position to be successful. Had a really good meeting with the team, and I'll share 3 things I told the team with you. And I've been around this group. Some of these players have been here for a few years, but even the young guys, I'm around. I'm at practice. I travel with them on game days, on road trips. There's 3 things I know about this group. Number one, this is a really talented group. We have a lot of ability on this roster. I saw this note the other day. This team became the first team in 57 years to play 4 straight top 10 opponents. And we competed on the field talent-wise, toe-to-toe with every one of those. We didn't win as many games as we wanted to, but there was no question that we had the talent to compete at that level. And I believe we have the talent to compete with anybody left on our schedule. This is a talented group of football players, and I know that. Second thing I know is the University of Florida matters to this group. They chose the University of Florida. They wanted to be here, and they want to have the success that you expect to have when you come play for the University of Florida. And that's the third thing, is they want to win. Winning is important to this group. They look around, they see other teams on this campus winning at a high level. They see what the basketball team did last spring. They want to be a part of that. They want to have those same experiences. So they're really talented. They care about the University of Florida, and they want to win. And our coaches and our staff, our administration, Gator Nation, we owe it to them to do everything we can to support them through the rest of this season and give them every opportunity to go out and win some ball games and finish strong. And don't let what's happened up to this point be what defines them, but what happens the rest of the way be what defines them. And I think they'll do that. So on the next steps from the leadership part of the football program, obviously we have a search that we're going to conduct, and that's my responsibility. Goal is pretty simple. We want to compete for championships, and not just compete, but we want to win championships. The University of Florida, as you guys will know, is the only school in the country that's won 3 national titles in football and men's basketball. It's the only school this century, that has won at least 1 title in football and men's basketball. And the Gators have won 3 in both. There's very few places that provide the opportunities that you have at the University of Florida. There's somebody out there who can come in here and put this football program in a position where it can win championships. This search is going to be thorough. It's going to be deliberate. Despite, speculation about, particular candidates or things that have already been done, we are early in this process, and it will be a very thorough process. To that end, we have engaged with Turnkey ZRG as a search consultant in this process. I think they can bring a lot of value, and looking forward to working with them. This university has a lot of alignment. We have a really strong group of board of trustees. They provide great leadership. Excited about Dr. Landry. I think he was a great selection as our president, and looking forward to continue to work with him, but really impressed with the leadership that he's providing. Throughout the university, there's just great leadership, and there's a shared commitment to excellence in every corner of this campus. It's a world-class university. We have a world-class athletic program, the only athletic program in the country that's finished in the top 10 of the Directors' Cup every year that it has existed, routinely in the top 5 in the all sports, 49 national championships. There's a lot of success here, and there's a lot of things to build off of, and it's a standard of excellence and winning that we have to continue to perpetuate.
That is Scott Strickland, the athletics director at the University of Florida. He is meeting live with the media. We'll continue to monitor that. Obviously, that does not pertain to the large audience that we have across the state of Alabama, but we thought it was worth the time to at least give a listen, Landrum, to an athletics director who made a bold decision yesterday after a win against Mississippi State that enough was enough.
Well, and he laid out, despite any candidates, Lane Kiffin is one that you've certainly heard, and some others. They're going to have intense scrutiny on who they hire. I just have to believe that given what happened with Billy Napier, there's no way they don't get a guy that is, say, proven. I guess it's relative to what they proved at their respective stops, but a proven Power 5 head coach. So if it's not going to work out, at least you can point to the fact of, well, he was able to do it at this other Power 5 program as opposed to the University of Louisiana Lafayette.
Correct. And yesterday afternoon, John Talty from CBS Sports, he tweeted out, even before firing Billy Napier, Florida AD Scott Strickland has been doing due diligence on Lane Kiffin. So there's no doubt that Lane Kiffin will be the number one choice. It doesn't mean that they will get him, just like Auburn's number one choice was Lane Kiffin before. And it appeared that Kiffin was going to be the next Auburn coach. Then he decided to stay in Oxford. So we'll see if he's given that opportunity to pick between Gainesville and Oxford.
It's the wrong part of the schedule for Lane Kiffin's name to be brought up, right, in a head coaching search.
Yeah, especially after what happened in Athens, Georgia. And then you're going to Oklahoma playing one of the best defenses in the country. 1-800-239-WJOX. Let's get back to the phones here on Reaction Monday.
All right, let's go to Don first. Hey, Don.
Hello, guys. Happy Monday to you guys.
Happy Monday, Don.
Hey, by the way, real quickly on a personal note, congratulations to our buddy Damien on his engagement. And
Yeah, it's great news. It's awesome.
I told Conrad on hold, and maybe we can have a little celebration tomorrow at Social Taco for him. If Damien can make it up there, we'd all love to have him up there to celebrate his engagement. So congratulations to my buddy Damien, even though he loves to mess with me about Auburn. But, guys, now you know why I didn't want to predict the score. I mean, my goodness, man. And everything, and I hope everybody's cars are starting out there in my Auburn family. That had to be one of the most dumbest comments that an AD could ever say. I mean, that's now the joke, man. I know, Landrum, you guys are having fun with it.
Well, it's just a situation. It was a bizarre statement to begin with. I mean, just come out and say, hey, he's our guy. He's our head coach, and he's going to be our head coach, period. In a discussion. It's pretty short and sweet, but he decided to give some kind of crazy analogy that a lot of people were like, huh, what? Not really sure what that was.
I don't know what it was. But, Pat, by the way, your comments a minute ago got a good report on my Auburn On3 message board and everything. They're talking about what you said about some big donors wanting to keep him. And guys, if he loses to Arkansas, how can you keep him?
I think me and Landrum made it perfectly clear. I don't see how you can, but we're not the AD, and we're not the guys that would write the check to tell him to go home.
Absolutely, and Landrum, I agree everything you just said. How is Auburn going to score enough points to beat Petrino? That offense is clicking, man, and that quarterback's a great quarterback. I mean, scoring 42 against A&M, you know they're doing something right.
I'm right there with you. I don't know how Auburn's going to score points the rest of the season. It's not like Kentucky's got a bad defense. Arkansas might be your best opportunity with the games that you have left besides Mercer until Alabama to score points.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But and I tell you what, and I told Conrad on my text this morning, there was two plays in that game. I know most people out there were probably watching the Tennessee-Alabama game at the same time. Again, congratulations to all my Alabama friends. That was such a that play at the end of the first half. I was at Bumhauer's in Vestavia, and I've never heard a restaurant louder in my life when that play happened. But anyway, the two plays. This is a story of our season. I said this. There you go. And when Cam Coleman dropped that long pass, which was a touchdown, it was probably Jackson Arnold's best pass of the whole entire year, okay? And then he drops that, and then the next play he throws his first interception of the year. That just is the story of the whole season, guys.
It is. But you still have a defense that comes out after that point and holds Missouri's offense to 10 points until the fourth quarter. You still find a way to lose a football game.
And how about the third down in the second overtime? How about the third down play call with running the ball?
Yeah, that was good. The 3rd and 6 where it looked like a counter and he's going to the short side of the field. Yep, it was brilliant.
Yeah, and then when they had to kick the field goal to make it 17-10, we had the ball on the 1 yard line, and the new center had a high snap, and we lose 5 yards. So it just, I mean, now the voodoo and that stadium's on us, Landrum. It really is.
It definitely has turned the other direction. Thanks, Don.
Appreciate the phone call, Don.
Appreciate
Hopefully
it.
we'll see you tomorrow.
You know, the other frustrating thing for Auburn fans is Eli Drinkowitz was doing everything in his power to absolutely hand the game to Auburn.
Sure.
I mean, if you think about what happened at the end of regulation, I mean, if I was a Missouri football fan, I would be absolutely just going crazy throwing stuff at my television. So they had a chance to put themselves in a field goal to win the game in regulation. They did the following. They had he threw a backwards pass that went out of bounds. They took a sack. They had a false start on offense. And then you threw an interception. That was the final few plays for Missouri in regulation. Did everything in the world. I mean, it was like going, are we watching Auburn?
Right.
I mean, is Eli trying to like give a lifeline to his buddy Hugh Freeze? Like, what is going on here? The play calling and then take a listen. I mean, this sums up the night. This is the way it sounded on the Auburn network. This was the final play of the game. Andy Burcham on the call.
All right, game on the line right here, friends. 4th down and 8 for Auburn from the 23-yard line. Coleman comes in motion near side. They bring an extra man. Arnold tackled in the backfield. He gets it away to a tackle who goes down, and Missouri has won the game. Flag down, but it's going to be an eligible receiver, and Missouri has won it.
What did you expect?
You throw to the tackle.
Hey.
Oh, you can't make this stuff up.
A for effort.
Just throw it to somebody. I don't care if he's eligible or not. Just
yeah,
throw
I
it to
think it got
somebody.
tipped. I think it got tipped.
Well, at that point, I'd have done the same thing. Just find a guy that's wearing a like jersey.
Why did I throw a 50-50 ball to Coleman in the end zone? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's just like when we watch the Penn State game in Happy Valley and you don't give the ball to Tank Bigsby. You throw the ball in the back of the end zone.
We give Harsin credit for that one. Yeah.
It's just like, you guys are trying to be way too smart. You got your best player on the field, put the ball up for grabs and let Coleman go up and try to make a play. It's not that difficult. But instead, you want to try to be the smartest person on the field and run all this other, motion and eye candy and all this kind of stuff. And just throw the ball to your best player.
Well, and this is inconsequential because he missed a couple that he normally makes, but I don't know why you're running Alex McPherson out there for a 50-yard field goal.
Well, to Hugh Freeze's credit, he did acknowledge after the game that was maybe a mistake on his part.
Oh, well, that's good.
You think so?
And it had nothing to do with officiating?
It didn't dawn on you.
No, it didn't.
It didn't dawn on you when he was running out there. The guy that missed the entire last season and has lost a lot of weight because of a serious medical condition.
Very much so,
50-yard
yeah.
field goal at that point might not have been a good idea. But then again,
But he made one in practice last week.
But then again, we've seen the offense, and maybe that was, hey, maybe we'll get a little bit of wind in here. Maybe it goes through.
All right, everybody in that.
Everybody
Everybody
blow
in zone.
towards the
Yeah.
goalpost.
Get the team up.
Kind of like the Twins did in the World Series against the Braves. Turn the air conditioning on. When the Twins come up to bat, when Kent Herbeck comes up or Kirby Puckett,
Yeah.
turn the air conditioning on.
Yep.
But make sure it's not on when the Braves are hitting. All right, we will continue on in this Reaction Monday. This is Jocks. It is 11:22, full bank of calls. We will get to those momentarily. If you're tired of worrying about your roof, whether it's your family home or commercial building, Abide Roofing delivers tailored solutions for every need. I saw Travis Lloyd on Friday night. He's one of the outstanding team members there at Abide Roofing of 25 years of trusted experience. He was telling me about so many of the Jocks listeners taking advantage of the free consultation and estimate. So just give Abide Roofing a call, 205-941-6223. Go to their website, abideroof.com. You can find out more information, but just contact Travis and his local roofing team, and they can come to your house. They can assess the situation up on your roof, make sure that your shingles are all good. And if you need a new roof replacement or if you got some leaking coming into your attic, they can deal with your insurance company. They did it for me. They can do it for you. I trust them 100%. That's Abide Roofing, 205-941-6223.
I'm just going back over because we were talking about it. Auburn, Missouri stats. The average pass completion for Bo Prabula was 6.3 yards. The average rush was 2.1. Ahmad Hardy, 24 carries, 58 yards total. 2 interceptions, by the way, for Prabula. You still found a way to lose a football game at home.
And you outgained Mizzou by like 15 yards, I think.
Bama hater, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Y'all all right?
Yeah, how are you since Friday night?
Man, I'm as expected. Hey, let me start my little rant. They got Napier. They're thinking about Norvell. But it's one more coach in the state of Florida that has to go. And if I look into my crystal ball, you know it's crystal ball.
That's good.
I am sick and fed up with this clown. I keep telling Miami fans that are around here, he has to go. This is another year when Miami is undefeated. We control our own destiny, on our way to the playoffs and possibly the ACC championship game. And once again, he can't coach our team to beat an unranked team. And now we don't control our own destiny because we don't play either one of the undefeated teams in the ACC. So basically, we're going to have to win out, go 11-1 just to make the playoffs because we know we're one of those teams that can't get 2 losses and be considered for the playoffs. We found that out last year. So we have to go 11-1 and make the playoffs. I'm pissed off about it, man, because these guys they make millions upon millions of dollars to keep doing the same thing year after year, and there's nothing being done about it. Loyalty, I don't like loyalty when you're not getting the job done. He's not getting the job done, period. I don't care if you go 5, 6, 8, 9-0 every year, and then you stink it up every year. It makes no sense, man.
Let me ask you this. Speaking of the ACC, if I'm right in this, that SMU, Georgia Tech, and Virginia, they all do not play each other. How many of those teams do you guys play? Do you play Georgia Tech, Virginia, SMU? I don't have your schedule in front of me.
I think we play SMU, but we don't play the other two.
Okay, you don't play Tech or Virginia. I can't even imagine the tie-breaking scenarios in the ACC with Miami, SMU, Tech, and Virginia, especially when SMU, Virginia, and Georgia Tech don't play each other.
Man, right now, I don't see any pathway because we lost the head-to-head with Louisville. They only have 1 loss.
Yeah, because they're in the conversation now.
And we have 2 other undefeated teams, but, you know, man, it's just awful the way Cristobal coaches, from being a head coach to the play calling from the OC, man, I don't understand. These guys, we have talent. We were number 2 in the country. Now we're facing not even being in the ACC championship game once again. And it's because of coaching. It's not the kids, man. It is coaching. And coaching's decisions in critical parts of the game. And it makes absolutely no sense.
So do you think when it's all said and done that Miami, because listen, I still consider Miami one of the best teams in the country despite losing the other night. Louisville is not chopped liver. They're a good football team. Do you still anticipate that Miami will find a way to get in the CFP?
The only pathway I see is 11-1.
Okay.
I mean, that's the only way. You see, you guys saw how they did us last year with 2 losses and the number 1 offense in the country.
Yeah.
We don't have the number 1 offense in the country.
Yeah, you don't have a Heisman
we got a
Trophy candidate. Yeah. Well, Carson Beck was until he threw 4 interceptions the other night.
Man, you know what? I think he's still hurt. And, once again, it goes to when coaches are loyal to a quarterback, they don't want to take him out of the game and put somebody else in there and give him a chance. So, personally, I think he's hurt because all of the passes, or most of the passes that I saw him throw, it was like he was putting too much air under 90% of his passes. None of the passes had zip on them. None of them. So, basically, in my opinion, I think he's still hurt.
Bama Hater, thank you for the phone call. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow at Social Taco. Let's get to more phone calls. Beham Dog. Beham Dog, what's up?
Good morning. Hey, not much, guys. Great weekend, beautiful weather. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend.
We did.
Man, I love the Scott Strickland UF info commercial that we listened to. Yeah. I would definitely buy a rainbow vacuum cleaner from that guy. I was actually going to call and tell Pat good game on his Ole Miss Rebels, but since he brought up the most hated man in Atlanta Braves history, Kent Herbeck, take that. I'm glad your Ole Miss Rebels lost.
Herbeck should have gone to prison. He should have gone to prison.
He should have, man.
He should have served time.
He should have. That guy, man, was so hated.
Hey,
by
you know what? You know what today is? Today is an anniversary. You know what happened on this date in Major League Baseball history?
Today, what year?
91.
Oh yeah, we went worst to first, baby.
Well, on this date.
Oh, this date.
On this date, Kent Herbeck picked Ron Gant up off of first base. And
so it is the anniversary of that.
Yeah, that crazy play at first base. I got to know Ron Gant. Ron ended up playing for the Cardinals towards the back end of his career. And Ron Gant actually started doing, he was host of the Fox morning show in Atlanta.
He's still
Is he still doing it?
I think he's still with the TV.
And
that
so
dude was so
station.
jacked, man.
Oh, he was.
He was.
And I had an opportunity. Paul Feinbaum and I, we would do our show over in Atlanta during the SEC championship every year, and Ron would come over there and do an interview, and Paul was like, "Hey, you're looking at one, the biggest St. Louis Cardinal fan right there." So Ron Gant and I started talking about the Cardinals, and then of course we started talking about his days in Atlanta. So, but just a really, really good first class dude. Really nice guy.
Unlike Kent Herbeck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kent Herbeck. I
Yeah,
never met
unlike
Kent.
Kent Herbeck. Yeah.
Scum.
Yeah, and I think he actually he was a thorn in the Braves' side when he left the Braves, went on the Cardinals. If I remember correctly, he actually played really well against us when we played.
Yeah, 1996 National League Championship Series, Ron Gant for the Cardinals. He had a really good series.
Yep.
But, hey, I don't like Kent Herbeck either. He beat my Cardinals in 87.
What's Frank Viola doing these days?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, hey, since you were talking about stats, and would it surprise you, because I watched the Georgia game, and I'm like, man, why can't we get off the field on third and down? It only have to be third and short. It could be third and 15, and we can't get off the field. But I started doing a little deep dive in the stats of defense. Would it shock you that Texas sitting number 3 in the conference in total defense, that Georgia is less than 250 total yards behind them, and they have faced Alabama, Tennessee, and Ole Miss? That shock you?
Yeah.
That 250 total yards separate them and Texas at third. And you got one more thing, and I'll let you guys go. Y'all were talking about Auburn out rush, I think, that total offense over Missouri.
Yes.
Kentucky did the same thing to Texas. Tennessee did the same thing to Alabama. And, of course, Auburn did it to Mizzou, and all 3 lost. I think that was kind of unusual to see like that.
So in that particular scenario, the example you just gave, stats are for losers.
Yeah.
Because all of them lost.
Yeah, you were talking about getting off the field on third down. Georgia's the 3rd worst team in the Southeastern Conference on third down conversions for the opponents.
I'm shocked that we're not dead last. When you said I heard 3rd worst, I literally thought you were going to say 3rd worst team in the country. We are horrendous. We cannot get off the field, and it's not anything creative. Auburn did it against us, 3rd and 14, just a QB dive. I mean, it's bad, but it's not as bad as it really looks when you start looking at the analytics behind it.
You're 95th in the country in that category, by the way. You're not not even close to
Yeah,
being one of the worst, but you're 95th.
Yeah, that's bad. Well, all right, guys. Well, I'm hoping I'll get to see you guys tomorrow. So
Yeah,
I may,
come up
may
and
take
see
a
us.
ride up there. I need some lunch.
There
We'll
you
see
go.
guys.
Thank
Come
you
on.
very much. We will continue with your calls. This is Reaction Monday. Kayla and DeBoer at the top of the hour. This is Jock's three-man front. Calls are still coming in. 1-800-239-WJOX, the courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450. You got a dangerous tree leaning over your house or maybe branches blocking your view? Call Golston Tree Service today, 205-337-4443. Golston's licensed pros handle everything from trimming to pruning to full tree removals, fast, safe, and affordable. Don't wait until the next storm. Call Golston Tree Service now. That's the number, 205-337-4443. Golston also offers the 24-hour emergency tree service. So when it comes to your trees, don't risk it. Call Golston Tree Service, 205-337-4443.
Back to your phone calls, 800-239-WJOX on this Reaction Monday. Crimson Convict joins us. Hey, what's up, CC?
Oh, everything's good, brother. I mean, Bama hater is eating crow. Auburn is in shambles. Alabama just ran the AP gauntlet, and it's probably one of the most beautiful days of the year. If that's not proof the good Lord is an Alabama fan, I don't know what is.
Hey, I don't know about God and being an Alabama fan. I think he's a fan of. Anyways,
he's a fan of all.
You
of
did
it,
not.
so.
You did
He's
not
a fan of
mention,
Notre Dame. What are you talking about?
You did not.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But he's also a fan of SMU, Pat, and TCU,
And Baylor.
and Baylor.
And Wake Forest.
Yeah. UAB got a big win over a ranked opponent, and we have an off week this week. So you're right. The sun, the weather, everything is nice. It's a beautiful Monday.
It is. And, Pat, I've got a question. So here's the thing. You bring in Hugh Freeze. He's supposed to be a quarterback whisperer. He swung and missed in the portal, at least 2 years now. Offensive genius. Worst production in the conference. All the Auburn fans that I've talked to, neighbors, immediate family, whatnot, they were ready to exercise their Second Amendment rights last week.
Mm-hmm.
And the loveliest village on the plain is in flames, and John Cohen is playing the fiddle. What is it going to take to pull the trigger on this?
Well, Cece, I'll just tell you, based on the people that I talked to yesterday, that I trust a lot. I mean, they felt pretty confident that obviously the situation with Hugh Freeze and some of the folks that obviously brought him in from a high roller donor situation, that they're still backing him currently. Now, I'm not saying that wouldn't change after a loss in Fayetteville, Arkansas, but I was just given the impression yesterday afternoon that nothing was going to change, at least in the near future. And right after I had these conversations, about an hour or two later, I got an email from Auburn detailing the media availability for Hugh Freeze all week. So I'm like, okay, well, nothing's going to happen today. So I really can't answer that, CC, because, been covering this conference for a long time. And I'll just be honest with you. It is kind of bizarre based on the numbers.
Well, let me ask both of you guys this. The criticism that Auburn has gotten, and some of it has been deserved, but the criticism they got with Brian Harsin, are you going to get that same criticism if you fire Hugh Freeze after what we've seen? Let's just say 3 seasons. He finishes the season. Are you going to give Auburn grief because you think Hugh Freeze got a raw deal?
I don't see how
Auburn just being
Auburn
Auburn firing coaches again. No, I think it would be totally justified to move in a different direction.
Well, it's got to be. I mean, look, John Cohen, and I'm not going to say it was a bad hire. It's turning out to be a bad hire, Landrum, but at the same time, did anyone think that Hugh Freeze going through his rehab program would not be successful at Auburn?
I thought he would have success. I didn't think it was a grand slam walk-off, but I thought he would have success. I thought he could win 8-9 games.
I did too. Yeah, I did too, which is why it's got me baffled. I don't understand where the disconnect is. I'm not sure, and maybe one you can enlighten me. Why has it been unsuccessful? Is it staff? Has he lost his fastball? And look, guys, I'll hang up. I know there's other people, but I want to know the answers to the question.
Well, I'll just give you my opinion. My opinion is that he was hired because he had 2 games of success against Nick Saban, and I think his offense is old. I think it's a situation where people, defensive coordinators, they know how to operate against it successfully. Listen, it's the same reason why Gus Malzahn failed at Auburn at the back end of his tenure. People started catching up to what Gus Malzahn was selling offensively.
Well, and he had familiarity with the conference. I don't think it was just the wins. The wins over Saban definitely helped, but he had familiarity with the conference. And the only two names, if you can remember, we were talking about, it was Lane Kiffin and Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
So they were not going to go and do a repeat of what you got in Brian Harsin, a coach that had had success at the FBS level, but not at the Power 5 level.
I mean,
they weren't going to do that. And Hugh Freeze was that sexy name that we would hear, right, Pat? When he was still at Liberty, and even prior to that, that was a name that if there was an opening at Tennessee, if there was an opening somewhere else, what about Hugh Freeze? Hugh Freeze would be perfect. So, I think but as far as the factors why it hasn't worked, yes, he inherited a bad situation when the cupboard was bare. I give him all kinds of credit for the recruiting that he's done and that staff has done. But again, you got to win football games. You can have an amazing LED show. Amazing game experience. That certainly helps. But at some point, wouldn't you think support starts to wane a little bit, Pat?
Yeah. And if you go back and look at his last 2 years at Ole Miss, he didn't set the world on fire. If you take his last 2 years at Ole Miss, his first 3 years at Auburn, he is still 10 games under 500 in SEC play. So again, where's the numbers that support keeping him around?
What did I call him to you after he was hired?
Poor man's Gus Malzahn.
That's the way I felt. Not trying to be disparaging. That's just the way I felt. I was more impressed with Gus Malzahn as a head coach than I ever was Hugh Freeze, even with the 2 wins that he had over Saban.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Gus Malzahn always had some really good staffs. I don't know if I can say outside of DJ Durkin if that's a very good staff at Auburn. More of your calls, your texts. This is 3-Man Front on Reaction Monday. 11 minutes from now, we'll go to Tuscaloosa. We'll hear from Kalen DeBoer as the Alabama Crimson Tide. They continue to climb up the polls to number 4. Man, the SEC knocking on the door is the most powerful conference in the all the polls when you're looking at Bama. Well, you got Texas A&M, Bama, and then Georgia.
How about my dark horse still trending? They got
Georgia
it done.
Tech.
Yeah, Georgia Tech. They
Georgia
look good,
Tech.
don't they?
Yeah, very good. Just reading something on Outkick, our weekly guest, Trey Wallace, he just wrote something a couple minutes ago on Outkick, and it says the following. Sources tell Outkick that internal conversations about Freeze's future have intensified significantly. Quoting now, how many times will he keep saying we're close? One person close to the situation said on Sunday night, it's been almost 4 years of being close. Some boosters are ready to just pay the buyout and start over. And that buyout would be around $15.5 million, something like that.
Auburn needs something different. And for whatever reason, it's not working with Hugh Freeze on the field when it comes to wins.
And don't forget about John Cohen's incredible statement about a week ago in which he says, I don't know if I'm going to walk outside and my car is going to start or not. I think it is. I have an expectation that it will. But if my car doesn't start enough, then I will evaluate that and make decisions about my car.
Yeah.
But that's not my expectation at this point about our football program. End of quote.
Auburn needs a old school type of football coach, but still gets the new school mentality. Just get a guy who's a grinder, who eats, sleeps, breathes college football. A guy that has not made it to the mountaintop. A guy that he ultimately wants to have success at that level. Somebody who's hungry. Hugh Freeze, I realize what he's dealing with, his health. But I would think getting someone who has proven it, that has that blue-collar mentality, there's no guarantees, but John Summerall would be a perfect fit, and I've been trumpeting his name. I've still not talked to anybody that has had one negative thing to say about John Summerall.
No, he did a fantastic job at Troy. He's doing a really good job at Tulane. Yeah, I mean, he's a football coach.
And he would absolutely entertain a conversation with Auburn. I think John Summerall would, even if you asked him going back to Kentucky, where he played, he's very familiar with, or Auburn, John Summerall would rather have the Auburn job.
I can also tell you that he's probably going to have an option of maybe going back to his alma mater because there's a lot of smoke in Kentucky today about the future of Mark Stoops. And I'm sure Mark Stoops might be looking for a runway to potentially get out of Lexington. I think the people in Lexington would probably welcome that because I think the way his contract is written, Landrum, that if he were to take another job, obviously Kentucky doesn't have to pay him that ridiculous buyout of what's left on his contract. Virginia Tech has been mentioned as a potential landing spot for Mark Stoops. Watching Mark Stoops and his brother go at it on the sideline the other night in the Texas game, I mean, that was great. Just the brotherly love was just oozing on the sideline.
I love it.
They're at Kroger Field. It was tremendous. So who knows? Summerall might have an option at, let's say, Auburn, his alma mater, Kentucky. What if Lane Kiffin goes to Florida? I know Ole Miss would love to talk to him.
Arkansas.
I mean, I'm not sure who represents John Summerall. Probably.
It'll be Jimmy Sexton if it's not already.
Yeah, Jimmy Sexton's probably making him kick somebody to the curb to get his services. But, man, Summerall will be the number one name in college football for a job.
He's familiar with the state. He's got great relationships with the high school coaches. And again, a guy that gets it. He is known by coaching. He is a coach's coach. I had a coach tell me who's coached at the college level, been very successful at the high school level, but said he is a coach's coach. He is known as a coach's coach. He's a grinder. I will add that the follow-up ... Hugh Freeze is not considered that.
That's shocking.
I know that. Earth-shattering.
So he's not a
for
grinder?
everyone.
He's a golfer, Pat. Come on now.
Or are you talking about golf?
Just grinding in the sense of grinding through the day, grinding through it.
And the night?
No, well, I was not going there, Pat.
It's not taking my bait today. He's on his A game today.
Hugh's got enough problems. I'm not going to bring up past transgressions. That's a hard word to say.
Well, Kalen DeBoer is going to be on the program here in less than 5 minutes. Keep it tuned right here to Jocks. We will carry his weekly press conference. Hugh Freeze is scheduled to be behind the microphone at 1:30. Some good news for Alabama. Yanze Pierre and Zabian Brown were named co-SEC Defensive Players of the Week.
Yeah, they did a little bit.
Yeah, they had decent games against Tennessee.